about position in the circle, but they just focus on kills.
All right, well, it's time for game number 2 here of day 4. Thank you very much for your patience whilst we get into Miramar. Once again, it's the Sims and D-Man who are going to be bringing you all the action. The plane in the circle about to fly, about to pop. Let's get into it. Game number 2 of day 4.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're back underway. Let's see who will come out on top. Will FaZe Sunday continue to dominate? Or will we see someone stepping up? It is a central plane. Everybody can go to their home locations. Will we see the Jokers go north or south? Will they decide to switch it up and just go somewhere completely different?
Okay, so amazing playing path. Start at the south and head up north. Anybody can go anywhere they like. Home positions are going to be in abundance, so they can get themselves on the ground, as Martin said. Okay, there are options here to jump straight out of the plane, and you know, getting your feet on the ground is sometimes more beneficial because you can start looting ASAP rather than waiting and looking for that circle. But this one's not too bad because wherever it goes, everyone should have ease of access, mainly for the simple fact that they're going to have vehicles, they're going to be able to get their gear, their loot routes, and their, you know, the amount of loot that they collect. They can go and do it rather quickly and get in and get out, do a team liquid, so to speak, get geared and get gone. The circle, I won't see any second where she's going to be and how this game's going to be dictated. I wonder if we'll get another island circle, Lee.
I'm seeing G2 sending people quite far north at the moment, to Al Azhar, it seems. Or at least going to collect some vehicles and go that way. So a little bit of a shuffle, and still quite happily spreading out. Rustamar's probably thinking La Benedita will be his, and it is going to be a southeast circle. Now, don't panic, guys. I know the island's in play, but
it's not like yesterday. We had more water.
I'm about 75% certain it won't go that way. Let's put it that way.
Yesterday we had more water than land, and we were like, well, we know this thing kind of pans out. So for it to go snap to the island now, it would be a shocker.
This brings into basically where Squeaky's going. There's a lot of compounds around that area that are absolutely prime, and that's where most of the teams will be looking to plumb for it. We've seen games finish in and around those fields, the hay bales, the road just to the right of him as well has been a place. But into the OMG warehouse, you see the big sign. If you go by the other side of the warehouse, you can see Gen G and OMG signs all over there. Great to see. Obviously, the remnants from PGI, and these teams will certainly be looking to the future and seeing what will happen at the end of the year.
And that's where all roads lead, right? We've got 3 seasons in that. We have the classics, but at the end of it, you do have the PGI Invitational, another $2 million event. And for 2 years to have $4 million across simply 2 events, it's not a bad going. PUBG, it's still, I think, for an esports side,
it's in its infancy. Yeah,
it's in its early stages.
This is the first week of the first league. You know, it's been a long road to get here, sure, but we are still in our very early days. You know, there's a lot of stuff to learn for the teams, for the players, for the meta, if anything, that could change and shift. And, you know, we're talking about, obviously, a lot of teams already starting to read the rotational routes of other teams and setting up, you know, for them. Because, I mean, this circle leads to it perfectly. I know Froz has loved to talk about the fact that the roads are effectively bridges in this game. I'm not too sure, but I understand kind of where he's going with the analogy. He's going, what he's saying is, you know, a road either north or south of La Bandita, it's kind of a full choke point. These are all choke points.
All bottlenecks, every single one. And when you've got kind of like the last game, for instance, where you see FaZe who pick a point that is essentially a pivotal point, game-changing, where they can just watch every other team fight it out and then pick off the remnants, which ultimately won the game. Okay, granted, I won't be ignorant, the circle did go the way, but yeah, all these ridges are major valleys and major choke points, and you've got to be on your toes, and you've got to be very self-aware of where this circle could potentially shift. And Navi doing maybe the same as what they did yesterday. If you remember, they hit the bottom side of Impala, but were rather briskly removed by TSM. TSM hit the
Put yourself as the in-game leader of Navi right now. Do you pull away from the coast? Obviously, that is your home ground. You know you're back safe, but you kind of want to be a bit more central, right?
You'd assume so. You don't want to be up against the coastal area, it kind of reminds me of, if you think of, you know, I always think of Severny, for example. You see teams sometimes when we get Severny circles, they'll go for the beachhead because you have that very, very tiny little bit of sand that you can hide off the back of. But you never want to be in a position where your back's up against the wall. If you're on a coastal side, or for instance, if you're on the western side of this map up against the cliff ridge, there's literally nowhere else to go but forward. And if you have teams directly in front of you, the second you get out, like, you're going no further. You're in a position where you might get lucky, you smoke, you use the vehicles, you blast it through, and you get to a point kind of like what we saw with Navi themselves with that compound yesterday in Erangel. They smashed center, and they got given and gifted. I mean, they have to fight one person, fair play, but there are options to do that. But it's a chance. It's never a safe location, and all right, maybe you could say in PUBG there's never a safe option, but you can give yourself better options by preempting, and this is why you get the 2-2 splits. Why, rather than stick for one compound, why not take two? But again, you do run that risk of, all right, if a team pulls up, we're pretty much dead. But
you still got two alive. That may be the way it works. Yeah, you're playing the odds.
It's an insurance policy, right?
Trying to cut the odds down as best you can. ENCE and Vitality have already got themselves very much central point. Of course, and starting this similar area, so well as Vitality there in the Minas Gerais. So they only need to go a wee bit south. Team Liquid's just pulling in south of La Benedita, pretty much around the crater actually of it. TSM also coming down north. Actually watching G2, TSM just ahead of them actually. G2 will go for that far east coast road. You can see Team Liquid now on that crater edge. Just getting a little scout down on Vitality. Expect them to go for a bit of a 2-2. I'm looking towards some of the prime compounds. There are a few available still just on the outskirts of Los Leones, etc., where we're going to see probably some of these teams coming in late on the west side. FaZe Clan still yet to leave Monte Nuevo.
These rotations sometimes make us sound like we know what we're talking about, but it actually comes to a point where we see teams do it enough, they start to learn how things work, and they start to learn what works for them. Lo and behold, Navi, they've pushed the backside of Impala.
It's easy for us. We have a map of the whole thing.
Exactly, but it's almost identical what happened yesterday. TSM have now come in. They'll probably push Navi out, and Navi will go onto kind of like the further side of the road. Maybe they'll re-rotate and reposition down to the bottom to grab themselves that the gas station.
If you remember yesterday, this circle, TSM and G2 clashed, and TSM went out 16th place.
And where's G2 now?
Yeah, right on their backs.
Literally just knocking at the door. Chris is now, that's clever though. Again, we can, actually we do have the map here, obviously I'm looking at the map stream, but Chris spotted it and then turned around, and now that's why he's ejected from the vehicle, and he's actually looking to see what's further afield. NIP are also on transition. That's a team that has been constantly going up against the likes of Vitality, the Knights, and again, when you have these teams that they find a pattern that they kind of feel comfortable with and they stick with it, and what's most easiest for them, you tend to find that, again, these guys know the map and the lay of the land like the back of their hand, and they're always going to go for the easiest way into the circle.
Yeah, Gustav's peeked a little too much, trying to get some information, lost his helmet, got knocked there by Batulin. Bit of a spray down, you can see. Managed to catch him out. His team are a long way off him, actually. That might just get flushed out.
So you'd have to assume, Lee, that that was only a level 1 helmet, and that's due to the fact that they've pretty much geared up and gone straight away. So again, there's another conversation to be had there of, is looting up first and getting 2-2'd and getting pretty well geared in your economy behind you a better stance than moving early?
Team Liquid about to get a crate drop on them, but the Knights are trying to put some fire down. Oh, set. Rustamar, how did you get away with that?
Curse of the Caster, he moves as soon as he sees him.
Yeah, Mark 14, that's a beautiful crate. That's just about a perfect crate that you'd want for really any map, actually, but Miramar especially. That will suit. Jeems, so Team Liquid, they're thinking, are they going to get that crate? Are they going to go for it? Because they've gone for the 2-2. Look, they've gone down the river. Now, road, sorry. Now, this position where they pulled up is actually can work. We've seen teams win from that spot.
Oh, hello.
It's actually just sit in the road. You go either side of the little ditch.
Lee.
Yeah, the Knights are coming for the crate. That's what I was saying. They're actually up on the hill. So Kramer's thinking, I'll park my car in front of it. I've got the support from behind.
That's a nade.
He's got to get healed. Yeah, he needs Drayden to come in. The rest of the Knights are going for it. And this is because they've watched Team Liquid pull away. Jemty's going back to it. Ibi lands himself a nade. You can see Samtit's coming back in. James is bashing straight through. It's going to be a 4-on-4 straight brawl.
Initial nade went through. It did hit the vehicle. The initial player did go down. Ibi's been hit from the back. Spins around on the pinhead. There's one. Will he get his second? Yes, he does.
He was mid-switching weapon. I didn't know what he was doing, but either way.
Span around like a bad man. I think they were a level 3 chest as well, so he doesn't survive. And just like that, 3 members of the Knights, they're gone. Now they'll come through with the cleanup crew. That must mean that there's only one left, potentially. Just bail for that entire fight to be the backup.
Yeah, the circle has shifted. It's kind of gone over to the western side. It's kind of, I would say, centered up to the mainland is probably the point where most of these teams kind of expected it to go. Na'Vi getting close to CrowCrowd down here at the moment. Both these teams languishing down the bottom of the table, so it is a battle for position at the moment. It's something you don't expect to say for Na'Vi, but Pokemon will take down Alf Plays. Did the Knights get away with that, or did they get flushed completely? They have managed to get away.
They definitely lost 3, so surely they've lost 3.
I think it's Reels. Reels have gone to La Bendita, but NIP are right past him at the moment, so he's managed to just get away, and that was what it's all about, getting that crate. And Jeeves will find it. Mark 14 for him.
I'm just about to say, I'd like to see Na'Vi try and bully the rest of CrowCrowd here and push them out and really exert the dominance. Set goes down. He's confirmed. Rustam Marcy Sims. Rafeli falls back onto Dream for You. Pokemon will call out the position of M19 on the hillside. They showed their face a little bit too much, but Magister, he is alive, but only just. He's the last one as well, isn't he? CrowCrowd. It's ENCE the problem for them. 16th in the last game. Yeah, they got pushed out by Na'Vi and then straight down the hill. And this position here, we've seen fights and games finish on this spot. There's no cover. There's no cover down the hill. If there's someone in this compound, you're pretty screwed. Like everything else on Miramar vehicles, really the only way to traverse the map. We see it on Erangel where you can dump the vehicles, and it is a better option sometimes to walk, not give away your position. And
look at this though, the west side.
Bump around on foot, but not this one.
The west side of the circle has suddenly become a red cluster. FaZe.
I think he was hiding it.
Diamonds, Winstrike getting in there. The Jokers are in there as well. The Jokers taking shots onto FaZe in the backs as well. So this has suddenly become very popular. A lot of the teams looked at that circle shift and went, right, okay, we're going to come in late. We'll go west side. The problem is there's been about 4 or 5 teams all had the same idea. So while it is a nice rotational path, you suddenly realize, oh, it's very clustered. Why is it clustered here? There shouldn't be this many teams in this position. It's because everybody's got the same idea.
Everything will calm down for a few minutes as players do just try to find their initial footing. Raise your edge. Would you have it any other way? Playing edge, funnily enough. And the last to enter this circle, Winstrike, are also on that western bank, so they need to be very careful. Jokers, they've put Senna on his own, out in a pretty decent position, to be honest with you. All right, if he sees more than one person, he'll be outmanned and outgunned, and you'd expect him to die, but he can read the lay of the land and give the info to the remnants of his team. They will opt to potentially move away from this one. Obviously, that knock comes from FaZe that you saw from Uber. It don't really do much. FaZe won't progress on it. They won't move any further. They don't really need to more than anything. It's just a warning shot. If Ota removes potentially the helmet and takes away a tiny little bit of utility from Jokers, but the circle, we'll see where she shifts and we'll see what she does to this map. Okay, so more
back over there. That's a western shift to an eastern shift. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. And Team Liquid are happy right now because they've obviously had to fight for position. NIP have kind of shifted, but that western bulk of teams are all trying to shift. Now, FaZe Clan are thinking, do we push through Jokers? Red Diamonds are going to go straight through Los Leones. TSM and M19, they're going to run into the backs of Na'Vi, it seems. The position there going, Raise Your Edge. We're also looking to go for La Bandita. So it's going to get very, very crowded on that west.
G2's taking advantage of the situation and really...
Oh, they've got that ditch. Yeah, that ditch is so strong.
And they've spread. They've got Kent down at the bottom side of the circle, and they've took Brexico all the way up top to lock down one of the bigger compounds.
It's the one we just saw Liquid and Knights fighting for, yeah.
Don't get me wrong. There's bigger compounds around him, but they're on the edge of the circle, and the only time they're actually going to be of any use is if there's a huge hardship towards them.
At the moment, ENCE obviously sitting in very much in the fields, but Vitality are holding a very, very strong compound. It's that Edge Road one. They do need to worry about Digital Athletics, who are also on the compound, just sort of up the hill, if the circle goes that way. If it pulls away, it's going to be problematic. FaZe Clan going for it. Now, they're trying to push. They're trying to avoid the Jokers, but the problem is it's pushing down towards Red Diamonds, who are just coming out the northern side of Los Leones. Raise Your Edge, we're seeing them pull up and up into the compound, but it's down south we could do with looking to see how FaZe Clan, they're right on top of Red Diamonds right now.
I'm really concerned for FaZe.
Oh, FaZe are screwed.
There's 4 players up on the hillside above them, and there's 4 players in the back that spread. This map is insane. The eastern embankment is just going to be scattered with individual players just spread, playing border control and trying to stay alive, because None of them. They're all scared to move into the center of the circle. It's quite a large, vast amount. Once you get past this hill, it's a large, open area to be picked off rather easily.
How did FaZe get away with that? I don't know. Back in the north, raise your edge. They pulled up. They got position. Winstrike coming into their backs. You can see in the pip as well as FaZe Clan. Mexi gets down and out. Bestelok finally getting involved on this one. FaZe will heal himself up. Meanwhile, on the main screen, you're seeing Dixu. He's pretty much pinned as that nade
Could be good.
will look to finish him off. That's going to bounce through the tree. Does the job and blocks the damage.
He gets away with his life for now, but Nucky has fallen fast rail. Raise your edge starting to be a bit of a problem. They get one answered back here. They lost their initial player earlier on. Teamy might have the info. That's a good nade. About 5% HP on him there. And all of a sudden, Jorski gets his number read. SKS at range. 762 does the damage, does the job. Cup of Magic at least answers back onto Jorski. That's a knock and an insta-flush. Trade-off for trade-off. Both teams hammering one another here. All right, it's bad for both teams' economy moving forward in the numbers.
Bestlok's found 8. See, that's out in the blue, and FaZe are going to be down to 2. I don't know whether Uber's going to try and risk getting him up here. This is obviously Circle 3, moving into Circle 4.
Excuse me, western side.
Team Liquid and Vitality, really, and ENCE, I guess you could say, but it's Liquid. Liquid had to fight for their position, and now the compound's looking great for them. G2, that road position they hold as well, is very strong as this battle continues out. Now, this is actually a battle for position, but NIP are coming to third party. There you go. You see Znark going down. They hold the cliff sides of Lambendita. They're looking down on all this action.
Knights, he's out. He's done. FaZe are down to 2. They need to make something happen here. Digital Athletics, though, they're pushing on Team Liquid. Liquid, they want to defend this. That's a pretty decent nade. It rings the bells. Everyone now knows where they are. James has got to be careful. Overextension like this might see trouble. Or spell trouble, should I say, from a distance. He also went for the crate. He's got the Mark 14. He's got the level 3 helmet and gear as well.
Look how close they are. Look how close they are, James. He's just going to... Oh, he's gone over to the left. Not quite
guessed it. He thinks they're closer than what they are, but they've actually been pushed back because of G2's angle. G2, by littering people along the road and not sticking to one compound, have actually blocked in so many teams they're going to deny line of sight here. Brexico and Chris actually might hit TSM, who's lingering in the backlines of this circle.
Yeah, well, I don't know whether TSM may be actually hitting G2. I think Brexico might get caught out here as they try and look. Either way, they are basically stumbling on one another. M19 desperately trying to get out of it. This is the Phase 4 circle. I'm not too sure whether Uber's going to get out of there alive as FaZe tries to creep in and use Red Diamonds behind him. Red Diamonds, by the way, they're coming up behind Vitality. I'm not sure Vitality are keeping an eye on this one. Look at them. I mean, you can see them in the background there. Red Diamonds coming over the hillsides of Vitality. They're so focused on watching Digital Athletics and Team Liquid. They've no clue that Red Diamonds are about to stumble right on the backs.
We have battles all across this map. We've got Digital Athletics, Team Liquid, we've got NIP Jokers, we've got Red Diamonds, Vitality, we've got G2 and TSM. This is literally a battle for the edge. Team Liquid are in the middle. Digital Athletics, they've got such a ridge that they can kind of just chill for now. Grenade up and over. Miraku down. Gaxi dead. Answer back there from the Jokers. They might advance on this one and try and clear out NIP.
Well, they're gone.
They're gone. They're done and dusted, just like that.
Winstrike from behind as well. You know, we saw them down the hill, how they were pushing in there, and just like that, NIP bow out in 15th place. Not the start they were looking for, that's for sure. Navi did manage to get themselves in the edge, and obviously this is now with the third party of NIP out the way. Jokers and Winstrike will go at it.
Look at what Senna's doing. He drew the attention there to kind of focus fire on him. Meanwhile, the tab went upstairs. Then Kemba, he thinks, okay, well, time to try and clear this one out. Let's get rid of Winstrike completely from the map and eject them from this one. He's overextending.
Red Diamonds are going in. Red Diamonds are trying to push on towards Vitality. We just saw a knock. Meanwhile, TSM and G2 also clashing with M19. That is over on the western side. We're watching M19 here taking the pot shots down on towards G2. They have to back away. TSM got absolutely obliterated in the crossfire, though, as they tried to push onto the roadside position that G2 held. Now we see Red Diamonds storming the castle of Vitality. The Frenchmen falling as they come steaming on through. They were completely caught off guard. They were so focused on the battle, trying to get those long-range shots over the hills, they completely forgot about the hill behind them.
I'll tell you what, it was a nice double peak as well. Both players committed to that push and went up the stairs because they knew that's where he was going to be lingering. They both lean, they both smash and grab. Now it all comes down to Monkey, left standing alone in the little compound, praying that he can do something. TSM's eliminated 12th place. Chris goes up and over with the Kobe, donks it onto Rory's head. And unfortunately, That's all she wrote in game 2 of day number 4.
James is going for it again. I wonder if he's got some more nades. He's actually just approached Digital Athletics. He's gone right onto the ridge line.
He's got to be careful that he don't overextend, though, Lee. He keeps going out, and I know he's an aggressive player.
Yeah, look at Sixmo's position. He's now gone out for the flank to get the angle. Obviously, we're keeping our eye on what goes on between G2 down the side here. Na'Vi, they've got to push into the back of ENCE, and you can see Pokemolodoy. I think they're going to go for hay bales here. That's really all that's available to them. Maybe try and jump in a couple of vehicles and go for it. FaZe Clan still with 2 alive on the hillside, but they're going to lit up at the moment by the red diamonds. That's Chris finishing Rory off down on the southeast corner.
Oh, wow,
Na'Vi on the move. They're going to try and go for a vehicle compound setup into that hay bale area, but it is a risky play while Vitality and Red Diamonds continue to fight on the hill. Red Diamonds see them coming, turn their angle, go straight towards them. Pokemolodoy lost the wheel, spinning out in the buggy. Batulan going wrong, and the big bang bust is going to get himself in towards the hay bales, but they're continuing to go where they're headed. They're going for a ditch. It's going to be a ditch right by FaZe Clan and the Jokers.
What did I say about James? Potentially going a little bit too far. He does indeed, and Senna sees him. He's down, he's dead. Team Liquid, they did get a knock onto Digital Athletics, but at what cost? They've lost their main lead man who's been able to get this information. They do have this compound inside the circle, and it is a safe place for now. ENCE, though, directly opposite them. Still Digital Athletics on the doorstep. Monkey holding on for dear life.
Yeah, Doozy jumping a little too much there. Gets another angle. Is he going to try and vault out the back here?
If he does, it'll be amazing. Just go behind.
He's going. He realizes they're around there. He sees them resin. Gets around, gets himself the spray, looks down towards the second, gets a massive play. A Monkey goes huge. Flushes down 2. Just gets the 1 pin. Is he going to be able to get the revive us? Because Beautiful Death is watching, and you can see, look towards Uber and Fuzzface. Fuzzface actually being pushed by 2 members of Jokers on the hillside as well. As G2 gets pushed, Fuzzface will go down. He got the knock onto Kemba. No support from Uber. Uber's down in the ditch. You can see him down below. Fuzzface separated from his team. G2 sending it. They're going straight into the back. Brexco. It's a risky play straight up towards the back of that rock. Digital Athletics, they try and get an angle, and immediately the third party and gets involved. Brexco, knocked by his own bike.
It fell off. It actually fell off and crushed him. That's a feels bad, man. He made it to the hill, and the bike does the damage. Oh, the rest of his team at least are inside, except Chris. He's going to be lingering on the back scale, so probably regroup and join them now.
Senya running straight downhill. Easy for Cup of Magic there. Open arms waiting. The rest of G2's going for it. Chris wants to go for the revive on Brexco. That is a risky, risky play. Kane's been caught out. Remember the Knights? Remember the solo player? Rios is still alive, and he comes sneaking in there. And he beats he's just gone for the underhand. They caught them out, and G2 are dropping left and right. Iroh finds himself 1. Rios confirms the kill. Gets another point for the Knights. How little they had so early on. 2 crates coming outside the circle. ENCE might go for that, you know. They have the ability to.
They do. They have the vehicles, and it also might give them actually some kind of denial of line of sight, because right in front of those crates is a little mini hay barrel cover, so there is an attempt. Red Diamonds have to make an attempt as well. They've got to run this one, but there's absolutely no cover whatsoever.
They want to get to this hay bale stack in the distance, but there's no way.
There's no chance. As many smokes as you will. Look at that.
I mean, Na'Vi's leapfrog has kind of worked out so well for them. There you go. Best luck pin picked off. Just the 1 man standing in there. Hello, Sampai, trying to smoke his way out, but this is going to be nigh on impossible task for him. Just caught out every bit of third party. Now, let's turn our attention to what's going on the hillside. Team Liquid, they've had this compound for a long time. The Knights have managed to sneak Reels in the back. Chris is still alive in there. The Jokers are flanking way around the north side of it. Everybody's trying to sneak in. Uber's still outside the circle. The Blue's going to be on his back too. He might fall first, but Ibby does find Tab, so they're aware of the Jokers coming behind them.
Yeah, Ibby's watching that corner, and so is Jempty. Jempty knows where Reels is, so you'd expect these 2 teams now to be held at gunpoint by Team Liquid. Chris, if he does get spotted, that's the end of G2's run here in game number 2 of day 4, for the simple fact that Digital Athletics are all over him.
But you wouldn't write Chris off. He might take them down as he gets Mert picked off. Iroh just around the corner. We're watching Uber trying to push through, but I'd love to be able to see Chris's position because he got Digital Athletics chasing down on him. Uber's got to deal with Na'Vi here. He can't quite get them. He's got no meds, no bandages, no nothing left. He's just literally trying to fight for his life, trying to toss a nade out, trying to sell a dummy and try and work his way down the back of the circle.
Chris, the solo player. Same goes for Kemba, same goes for Reels. FaZe Clan's eliminated. Top half of the table at least for them, as Uber does go down in the blue. 8th position.
Ran into his own nade, I think, as well, to try to do that on purpose. Kemba snuck in the circle, as has Reels. Chris in there. There's a lot of solos, but ENCE and Liquid are the two big teams alive, along with Na'Vi.
Annihilated.
Of course, still with the 4 standing. So Reels down, but, you know, considering the clash, considering they'd lost 3 so early on, to get a 7th place is not too bad for the Knights, and snuck a few kills out of it.
Where will this circle adjuster then? This could be an interesting one because we've got so many different teams like lingering on the outskirts. Somebody could get really lucky here for the fact that ENCE they've gone further inside the zone. I think this might be a good play from them. It is, because now everybody has to come to them, Lee. Oh, and that's a complete open field. This is a really good read from them. They've pressed up early, built themselves so much of a backbone. This is a really good play from them that might have just paid off.
Yeah, and you think of Liquid's position, think of everybody that's there. They've got that little ditch where Digital Athletics are, so they have to fight them, but they've got to come over the brow of the hill straight into ENCE. Na'Vi, look at that open field territory there. It's just hay bales. They're sitting in the dumpster right now, Na'Vi, and it feels like where they are on the table at the moment as well, compared to ENCE, who are taking the pot shots down from up on high. Chris is
still doing damage, by the way. That's the second player now from Digital Athletics.
He's pushed the ditch. He's pushed the ditch.
He's literally just lingering. There's only a beautiful death remaining. Chris might single-handedly wipe out the entire squad and do Liquid a favour.
And Liquid are going for it. Liquid are coming over the top. Ibi comes in, but Na'Vi see them. Na'Vi see them silhouetted. A beautiful death laying low as Chris goes up to the rock. He tries to go one-on-one or one-on-3. Chris gets one, can't get the second. He will go down. Batulin, who tries to get involved in this, will get knocked on the side there. Team Liquid will finish off G2, so they're going to go down in 6th place. But a beautiful death that's at the moment lying prone in the rocks. And Na'Vi and Team Liquid are coming his way.
That nade, though. That nade!
Oh, it's a big one. A beautiful death. Becks himself at least a point. Will he be able to confirm anymore? A second nade's going to follow up, so it looks like he might well do. But he's getting up to dodge bullets from Ruslan Mar down south.
A complete and utter rando nade. Picks himself up a point for his team and knocks another player from Liquid. That's devastating for them. They were on the move, and now, all of a sudden, from having 4 up...
Look at Squeaky. Look at the aggression. ENCE taking control of easily 50% of this circle with this play. As Squeaky goes north, there goes Digital Athletics, a 5th place for them, but it doesn't matter. They collected another kill there, so they're going to be happy with the 4 or 5 points they've collected.
Sorry, I said 4 up, I meant 3. Now, the fact that they're down to 2 gives them a really bad advantage in the fact that Na'Vi are directly in front of them. If Kemba comes in, he literally might be able to split this into a one-on-one versus Team Liquid.
I would say for Na'Vi, the fact that Sadovnik has got in that ditch basically buys them 2nd place here. Unless ENCE do something absolutely idiotic. Samty and Gemty, they're in all sorts of trouble. They have to move down from the hill along with Kemba. So looking like a 3rd or 4th for these two teams as they try and move down, and Na'Vi's little ditch play has paid off.
Kemba could do this. One random nade's already done enough damage to Team Liquid. Pretty much solidified.
There's a random nade. He's cooking it. He's chucking it.
Another one.
Oh, it's hit the rock! Oh, you jammy Gemty. Oh, that was his. It literally stopped dead on the rock. He got so lucky with that.
They have no idea how unlucky they've got in this game. Another player comes through. Sadovnik sits there. 4th place for Team Liquid. 10 kills here for ENCE. The Finns are cleaning house.
Yeah, this is going to be their game. Big points for them, and it's... I think they were in 5th already, weren't they, out before this game? So they've certainly... Another big performance from the Finns. Something we saw them doing, obviously, as in Minsk and the qualifiers. They were huge there as Accelerator now. Hence looking to find Kemba. Yeah, Kemba's there. 3rd place for the Jokers, which means Na'Vi, their sneaky play, their big push, their ballsy play with the vehicles has worked out. Pokemon is running for blue. He's trying to get for the blue. Mikas spotted. Can he try and steal a kill away? No, doesn't look like it. The nade's going to go through. Actually might find Mikas, but the rest of the team will get him. He runs for the blue, but it's not going to happen. Thriftfully tracks him down. And ENCE with 4 alive will take themselves a chicken dinner. Their